Play of the game from way down.
Two, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob Stastinko gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
All right, good evening, everybody. Let me fix the, there we go. Oh, you're not Jati. I gotta change that too. Silly me. Anyways, welcome to the Nexus Gaming series. This was a last minute pickup here, so I apologize for the awkwardness there. We're gonna catch a B West game tonight between Uncomfortably Numb and ReGen Blue, and I'm your host tonight, and I'm joined by the lovely Ziltoid.
How's it going, everybody?
You may have seen him from such fine games as Winston Churchill Humanities versus ReGen Phoenix. A very good game, I hear. You should go watch that VOD if you haven't.
Yeah, it was a decent set on the other coast, and hoping to see similar fireworks out of this one.
Well, we want to give our support to ReGen Blue. Of course, we'll allow you to be the support for Uncomfortably Numb. I know you play in this division too, so you probably know a little bit more about these teams. But I just happen to be sporting my ReGen shirt here, so gotta point that out, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I know ReGen Blue quite well. You know, pretty consistent scrim partners for us, and you know, we're also in the last season we're also in B West Division together, so
good deal.
Uncomfortably Numb though skipped one season, so they just kind of popping back in this one, but the season that they were attached to was a good one for them. So
good deal. Well, welcome everybody. If you came over from Ziltoid's stream, we appreciate you sticking around. Everybody from Mark Zombie's stream, getting a little bit of an echo there. Ziltoid, just FYI. Let's take a quick look at the maps as they're getting into the draft. Just want to show you these bans real quick here. We do have the ban on Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines for Uncomfortably Numb. Baraxis Holdout and Volskaya Foundry for ReGen Blue, and we're going to Dragonshire.
yeah, I mean, Dragonshire is a pretty standard map. It's not as in popular as, say, like Infernal Shrines or Tomb of the Spider Queen has been this season, but decently balanced. Lots of ways, lots of different win conditions. You can use the objective, you can use the camps. You know, lots of ways to find victory, but really requires good communication to stay ahead.
So first off, we're seeing the Johanna ban and the Chen ban, followed by Alarak. So, you know, Alarak has been making his way into the kind of top-end meta. Everybody wants to play him because he's got the displacement ability and, of course, that silence. And he's just so much damage when you start stacking him up, right?
Absolutely. You know, good Alarak players, as we kind of saw in the last set, have a tendency to be able to force engagements or positioning from the enemy team that they don't want to be in, and that you know, can often be snowballed into quick kills and nice advantages on the map.
And then Chen and Ana going to be the bans coming out from Uncomfortably Numb. And there's been a lot of chat about the Ana bans, as her overall win rate has not been overly fantastic.
Not in B West, at least. B East is still sitting at about a 50% win rate with the hero, but B West is sitting very low. Definitely has not been performing as well as we've seen in the past. And so, but ETC is definitely one of those heroes that has been performing extremely well, and we'll see Mongoose pick that up really quickly.
Now this is interesting because Jason has been playing the healer role. I was actually going to say about the Anduin pickup there. He's been playing a lot of Anduin, so it kind of surprises me to see Jason going on to the Kael'thas.
Actually, because Fox left the team, And right now, August Sun, who they picked up, is an off-laner player, or at least traditionally was. And right now, they also don't have Larson, and Ostiel is their sub, who played for them last season and was a healer main. And so Jason is back on the mages, basically, in this current rendition of ReGen Blue. And they have Ostiel back in doing the healer role. And so we'll see I think August Sun's going to be playing the secondary, the sub DPS role. And Grendel should be back in the off lane.
So that's kind of interesting. They banned out the Samuro, and that was a hero that Fox was, quite good at. Do you know, are there other people on ReGen Blue that play the Samuro? Are you familiar enough to know?
Well, I'm quite familiar with this version of it. August Sun is kind of one of the few players that could potentially play it that I'm not 100% aware of, but I do kind of know of him. And I don't recall him ever being a Samuro player. So they could just be removing it in the fact that they've seen ReGen run it before, but it might have been a bit of a wasted ban.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking is it might have been just something that they, weren't really prepared for that or didn't really pay attention to who was playing that hero in the past. But gonna see Raynor and Diablo followed up then by Greymane and I guess probably the solo lane for August Sun.
Yeah, it looks like it. We might see some swaps, and that again, August Sun is traditionally a solo lane player, so they might just be moving Grendel into the DPS role, which is fine. He does play things like Gul'dan, he does play things like Greymane, so I think that's an okay flex. RGB is not playing in what they've been, kind of comfortably practicing over the last bit of the season, but still more or less roughly where they want to be roles-wise. So Variant is definitely an August Sun special, and we're going to see the Spectre as the counter to that. And that's a reasonably decent matchup for Twin Blades Variant in the top lane.
So, yeah, absolutely. So, quite an interesting setup here. I was going to try to pull up real quick here and I guess I can just hop over to the standings real quick while we do this.
It's second place versus 11th place.
That's interesting because that's not what this pulled up. It shows Uncomfortably Numb as 6th place.
Oh, my bad.
So
Unplayed Gaming, Uncomfortably Numb, whatever.
There you go.
Same things. So
letters
6th versus 11th.
Letters are hard.
Keep in mind, this is only Uncomfortably Numb's 5th match, so
there you go.
They do have a lot of space in which to climb as they have a match against RGB this week. They'll be playing Logical Decision on Sunday. So looking to maybe catch up a bit in the matches played.
Alrighty, well, let's get into this game here. I'm going to let you introduce our blue team.
Well, on the blue side, we have Uncomfortably Numb. We have Famous on the Diablo, Kickin' As on the Junkrat, THC Spectre on Leoric, Patches playing Anduin, and Mr. Monkey Man playing the Arena.
All right, and for ReGen Blue on the red side, we've got Ostiel on Stukov, we've got Jason on Kael'thas, Mongoose playing ETC, Grendel on Greymane, and August Sun on Varian. He's chilling beside me. All right, let's take a look at talent. So we've got the Bold Strategy coming out from Anduin, Ace in the hole for Raynor, kind of expected. Any talents that you're interested in there that kind of abnormal, perhaps? I don't see anything too exciting.
No, mostly just flex, just some flex choices at certain levels. So Renew has been more common these days than Bold Strategy, although Wono would tell you that that's dumb and you should always go Bold Strategy. The Spell Shield instead of Devil's Due, which I've been seeing quite frequently, but I don't necessarily dislike the Devil's Due or the Spell Shield. In a lot of situations, you're dealing with ability damage from almost every hero in the game.
Right, and especially with this Kael'thas, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then you have on Leoric, you can either go Ossian's Renewal or Fealty. Ossian's is typically better for situations where you're out of lane. But fealty, whenever you're in lane, is a really good way to just continually sustain and can be a real problem into a lot of different heroes. Twin Blades variant included, but Twin Blades is still going to be good at fighting him on the actual objective, and that is kind of where Austin's Renewal will help keep him alive in those situations.
Sure, yep. I did see here we've got the low blow coming out from Stukov as well, so getting that additional damage when heroes are low on health. And there are a fair number of low health heroes over here. I mean, Anduin, Raynor, and Junkrat. Getting that silence onto a Junkrat could make life really suck for them, especially with the low blow.
Yeah, low blow is not a common pick, I would say. It kind of goes back and forth between a lot of different talents there, but I do think it's still a strong pickup for the most part. What I'm amazed by right now, though, is Gelthas almost already halfway done with his Globe Quest.
Yeah, and that's because they've had such quick rotations between the mid and the bot lane, right? The cocktails and the living bombs coming out allow them to really push that ETC, getting those globes, and I imagine ETC needs globes too, but ETC in a bit of trouble does power slide away, so he's going to get out.
Yeah, power slide available, silence there's the follow-up just to make sure that no one can really cast any abilities to kind of keep him in that location. We see Augustin going in for the tap to try to get up there. Austin's Renewal have already been burned by Leoric, and the thing is, though, if he's really good at making sure he mines those globes really fast, nice talent coming out onto Kael'thas there, and they're going to probably still maintain control of this bottom shrine for at least a little bit.
Yeah, and we've got Junkrat and Greymane hanging out in the middle here, making sure that they keep up with that soak, and just a brawl in the bot lane here.
Yeah,
the
but
flip on the
the
Stukov,
fast
though.
rotation. Yeah, the fast rotation from Greymane is actually going to put maybe Uncomfortably Numb in a bit of trouble, but they didn't really initiate onto it. So now Junkrat has actually also made his rotation down. We're going to see Greymane pop back into the middle, and bottom lane is still going to maintain control there for the side of Uncomfortably Numb.
Yeah, and you saw Mongoose consider going back in there, but they're a little bit behind on the XP soak. Ah, damn it, I was going to check for that too. So we do see the Leoric just able to kill that Varian. And of course, at 7 is when he can actually play into that, right? When he gets that second wind.
Yeah, essentially that's kind of the thing in this matchup here, that I would have really expected ReGen Blue trying to hold that bottom a lot harder, given the fact that Varian is in no way going to take any advantage into the top lane without second wind. So until he gets that talent, it's going to be a little bit rough, but they should be able to stall out this channel here for a little bit. And maybe grind out level 7s. Lyric isn't going to want to fight into them quite yet, as he's still at half health. But yeah, just kind of back to business as usual with a slight advantage here for Uncomfortably Numb in experience.
Yeah, ReGen getting that Diablo there, but ultimately the Leap of Faith pulling him to safety. So 4 versus 3 in the bot lane is Junkrat soaking in the mid lane. Both teams do have level 7, so Varian can a little bit more effectively trade into this Leoric, and as we do see, he's full health going in onto that Leoric, pushing him back.
Yeah, post 7, Varian is going to win the 1v1 matchup for the most part. What Leoric really needs to do is just kind of clear the waves, maybe see if he can do a little bit of double soaking, would be my kind of approach onto this, to see if he can get an advantage that way. Because really in 1v1 trades without rotations for ganks, he's almost never going to win this trade.
Yeah, and he's now got a pretty significant wave there, helping the Varian to do damage into the Leoric as well. Well, now it's on the wall. So we've got a camp invade coming in from Uncomfortably Numb, but they get pulled back. Greymane got pretty low from that, though. Oh, son of a...
Yeah, so we go away for 2 seconds, as is usual, as is tradition. Although that is a great boop from Junkrat. Varian not positioning himself very well there, and
toast.
that's actually going to be a kill. So kicking ass, making sure that he is doing exactly that, kicking ass and taking names.
And in this case, that name was... Go ahead.
Guys, we thought of the same thing at the same time.
Yep. I was just trying to play off you. You set it up.
Yep.
But
I'm,
all right.
I'm a bully, and I have to steal all of the attention. You know how this is.
That's, you know what? It's all good. That's what we're here for. So level 10's coming up for Uncomfortably Numb. A little bit ahead of ReGen Blue. and this is going to give them the bottom point. Varian's going to go ahead and get up onto that top point, though, so they're not going to be able to channel it.
Yeah, if I was Uncomfortably Numb, I had almost made that rotation into the bottom camp, but we're going to see instead a mid-rotation with a Entomb, and that's just about as good. If you're going to be able to get a pick off of it there, that's exactly how you want that exchange to go. So still not going to be able to get themselves, say, a Dragon Knight here, but they are significantly ahead in a lot of ways on the macro of this map. So this camp's going to push.
Oh my goodness!
They give up the Dragon Knight, which is a saving grace for ReGen Blue. They were falling behind significantly. Be able to steal this, even if they don't get a lot of structure damage out of it, that's okay. Honestly, I think he should just clear the wave and back up and really not give them this much free damage.
Yeah,
but
no
even
doubt.
the denial itself is pretty good. That does help stall out any of the advantages that Uncomfortably Numb was maybe going to get out of those kills.
And that gets them to 10. So now they've got the Mosh Pit, the Cursed Bullet, Flailing Swipe. What did Varian take? Warbringer. And whatever Kael'thas elects to go with here.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, I would have just double soaked with that thing. That Fire Breath is extremely good at that. And
oh yeah,
you could really catch up. But we're gonna get the initiation with APOC onto Greymane. No one was really in position to peel him out. He is just kind of standing there, but it looks like he will walk away. Although the light bomb might land, and that might still be a kill. Although he does maybe walk away from this, and he just sneaks right away. Grendel making it out just in time. Monka's doing his best to see if he can pressure Famous, but he might have made a mistake there, and actually goes down.
Oh,
and
no.
actually, Grendel stepping up at low, thinking that it was an instant heal instead of just the overtime, does go down.
Oh, that feels so bad because Greymane gets out. ETC trying to come in from behind. They used a lot of ultimates. They were even good enough to get the Riptire killed before it was able to secure the kill onto the Greymane. They had a great zoning. They dropped the silence right onto him. It was like so many things were right in that, and then they just weren't.
As it goes on this map and many others, that is the case. But still, 13 is going to be picked up here for Uncomfortably Numb, so still maintain a decent experience lead here as 12 is still far away. But ReGen Blue trying to change things up here, going for this bottom bruiser camp, and you know that'll help up quite a bit. They are going to lose these giants, but those should be easily cleared and isn't the end of the world. I think that's an okay exchange, especially since they got a free bruiser camp in the bottom lane.
Yeah, for sure. Level 13 here, so Grendel is going to clear these out, but it's going to be Light Bomb, and ETC's probably about to go down here. Yep.
Yeah, they have not been shy with that Light Bomb. It is a 60-second cooldown, so they've been making sure that it's been basically going off every single time it comes off of cooldown. And that's kind of the usage that you want to see, but Varian has been left alone in the top lane and has been getting pretty significant value in structure.
So here comes the Dragon Knight, the shrines anyway. And what do you think? What do you think we see out of Varian? Do you think we see the charge? Because he took the reduced cooldown. Do you think we see the percentage coming out of him at 13, or do we see the reduced healing? The Mortal Strike.
I think both have value for sure. Twin Blades Varian is the best at applying Mortal Strike, and that the healing reduction can almost never be underestimated. They do dodge the full APOC Famous, basically casting it to avoid dying there. And now we see Varian trying to get a little bit of pressure onto Junkrat, but of course the Mine, very good at disengaging and does exactly that thing. And Kael'thas was split in that situation, which was, I think, the reason why Diablo managed to get away. But yeah, to finish answering your question, I think it goes either way. And we did actually see the Mortal Strike, and I think that you can probably make the argument that's the best way to go.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, they have a lot of healing on their team. The only the only character that doesn't have self-healing or, you know, obviously end-to-end healing is Junkrat. So I think that's a pretty big benefit for their team.
Yeah, now he's looking to see if he can get away here. The initiation might come out from Diablo, although underneath towers, probably not the best thing. And you know what? ReGen Blue's been doing a pretty good job kind of recovering back into this game. They're not allowing the macro to escape from them. They are going to be behind. 16 is going to be a window that they have to be super careful about. In the fact, here comes the initiation onto Kael'thas there from Diablo. Great mosh pit, though. Might actually cost Uncomfortably Numb here, but unfortunately, the follow-up damage just wasn't really in place where it needed to be right away. But still a lot of pressure. Mr. Monkey Man getting super low. famous having to be leap of faith out of there. And if we go to the top lane, I bet you that Varian is winning that exchange with Leoric quite well.
Yeah, good call.
I was making sure you didn't miss that one.
I was going to, so great job.
This is going to be another Dragon Knight for ReGen Blue, and that is fantastic. Like, they got behind in this game, but they're just making sure that the macro is being just handled. And we saw a bit of this from them in the Devil Kegs matchup, where they're just able to kind of come back from certain situations and really turn things around. They did unfortunately lose that series, but I would say that it was, it was this kind of play that we've been able to see from them, even with all of these roster kind of mix-ups. That seems to be actually working for them. And, second objective.
And the thing about it is that they can win this game for 15 minutes, but if they lose it at minute 17, then it's all for naught. So they've got to really make sure that they keep in this game. And there's the light bomb and flip onto ETC, which does secure the kill onto ETC.
Yeah, APOC light bomb is like 5 full seconds of like CC.
Yeah,
that's just nuts.
Jason looks like he's toast.
Really looking to see if he can get pressure onto that. Is okay with the kill. But things have equalized. They got that top fort, which is going to be nice. That'll help keep them some map control. We are going to see this camp go down, and it will start firing some shots here at the fort. But again, it's easy to clear on this side of the map, especially with Twin Blades Variant.
Yeah, it's not even going to get a shot at the fort. It's just going to get cleared before it even makes it to the bush. So, I mean, overall right now, we see the level advantage over to Uncomfortably Numb. But with that pressure in the top lane, right now, the structure advantage goes over to ReGen Blue. And, this is kind of a challenging place to be because the top lane is the death lane, right? I mean, if you try to push through the top lane, unless you've already got them basically wiped out, it's just brutal, just like old school Alterac Valley. Oh, but here we go.
That's a mosh pit right onto him, and that actually might be enough to get the kill onto Diablo. Resetting those souls at this moment would be huge, and that is the kill that they needed to get. In fact, we're pretty much going to concede them this point. We do see Uncomfortably Numb maybe looking to posture up here, but I don't think that would be a wise choice by any stretch of the imagination. But looks like Raynor's still going to see if he can get in positioning here. We're going to see a bit of an aggression coming out from ReGen Blue, actually onto Leoric, and he might actually get burned down really fast here, and that's another kill for ReGen Blue.
The charge in there onto Grendel, the light bomb coming out as well, but he actually dives away after the Stukov is able to secure that kill. Hyperion coming out as well.
The aggression here for ReGen Blue, though. I think with Stukov down, they have no way to really maintain the sustain, and Leoric is going to be back. But that's still a really good exchange for them. Diablo soul resets, plus a kill on Leoric, just help them kind of establish some things, and all the major stun heroics are down. So that means any major fight over this objective here, all they have to do is stall out for Stukov to get back up, which with that top lane control, they basically can do. So ReGen Blue in a really good spot here in this game, really coming back after a little bit of a rough start.
So we see level 18 to 18, so they're certainly closer than they have been elsewhere in the game. The next talent, level 20, looking very much like Uncomfortably Numb's going to get there first. And the lanes are, coming. That's one value that Uncomfortably Numb gets out of this top lane is that they're coming into their half of the map, so they can soak it pretty safely.
Yeah, but I do still think taking on that top fort gives a bit of a positional advantage, although Augustin getting isolated out, but there is no APOC into Light Bomb. Only Light Bomb is going to be available, and Tomb's going to drop down to see if they can grab Jason. We're probably going to see the Light Bomb come out, but no, it's Diablo that goes down, and I don't think THE Spectre can stay here any longer. He's going to die too as well. Another 2 kills for ReGen Blue. This is exactly what we wanted to see out of them today.
And what I mean, that's classic talent combo, right? The Entomb into the Stukov. The problem is that the Entomb's on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. The thing is it makes this right here, this play that they're making right now, is not very safe because they have no fort to retreat to. Unfortunately, the mosh pit does not land, and that's an unfortunate kind of turn of events, but they are going to be able to get the 3rd Dragon Knight of the game again for ReGen Blue. And they might even be able to kill Mr. Monkey Man here. August Sun just running it down, as you said, the heal reduction getting a massive amount of value there.
And especially against a Rainer with his, what is that, Adrenaline Rush? You know, he's got self-healing, doesn't do anything. Not going to do anything. It's basically half effectiveness, and they get that kill. And this is going to give them level 20 advantage first. They were 3/4 of a level behind at 18.
Yeah, they've just been winning all of the late game skirmish exchanges, and those are the ones that you want to win, where the death timers are long, so you can get an immense amount of value. And this Dragon Knight, although that's not how you want to be running those kicks, might actually be able. It's still quite healthy. This is going to get the keep. I don't think there's really anything that Uncomfortably Numb can do about this.
Yeah, not with Rainer dead still yet for 12 seconds. The Dragon Knight's still at about 30%.
I don't think they core here, though. It's a little bit risky with Rainer about to pop back up and with ultimates still available. And we can actually see that they are going to go for the disengage here. As long as they can get Kel'Thas out, this is a absolute huge advantage for ReGen Blue. And if they even win just a 2 or 3, or get 1 or 2 picks into the late game, with the camp or 2, that's the end of the game.
Just out of curiosity, did you just see that? What's this swirl around Leoric? What is that?
So that is his level 20 upgrade. Mouse over that.
Well, we'll come back to that as here come the ultimates. ETC all the way in the back line there. Entomb zoning out most of ReGen Blue. We do see the Hellgate going out, missing everybody, but the Riptire going crazy. Ostiel trying to knock everybody back, but it's going to be 2-0 for Uncomfortably Numb. And Jason, why? Oh, Mongoose coming in to try to save him. This is the time. And it's 18 minutes. Sorry, I was a minute off. Where you don't want to now lose the game because of a bad decision. And that was a bad decision.
There's the 3 kills that we're talking about, but it went to the other side. And that can be a little bit risky. They're going to have to forfeit this bottom fort. They're still in a good enough spot macro-wise that, there's not a whole lot that they can guarantee out of this. They might be able to get a keep wall. They might be able to push up onto the keep, but it's a risky position for Uncomfortably Numb to be in if they don't get this front wall down really quickly.
Yeah, and I did look up that talent. I moused over it, so that's interesting. I haven't actually seen the effect. I've seen the talent before, but I've never seen the effect. So kind of neat to see.
It's definitely not generally taken over top of Buried Alive, but to each his own.
Yep. So they don't get the keep, as ReGen Blue mostly back on the board here. They've got Varian coming up in 10 seconds. There is a Bruiser camp coming in the bot lane, and here comes the Dragon temples. Shrines. Altars? Shrines. Shrines. Yeah. It says so right on the screen. So
still a good position for ReGen Blue, despite losing those picks. As long as they don't stagger any more deaths, they can definitely reestablish themselves back into this game. And again, they're the ones with the win condition. They're the ones with the bottom keep gone. So if a fight goes in their favor here, things are, and it's also probably in a good position to be in when
they're gonna lose the Dragon Knight.
Don't have to worry about Entomb. Silence Entomb. But yeah, they did just give up the Dragon Knight. A kill on Leoric. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I don't know. I think going mid and looking for that fight with a split Leoric might have been the right call there, ReGen Blue. So some of these late game decisions might be costing them, because this is a 20-minute Dragon Knight.
And we did see Greymane go down as well, and that's a big problem going into this Dragon Knight.
So we're gonna have to see them get aggressive. It is Junkrat that is in the in there, so a lot of his siege damage is not available. But look how quickly this is melting. It's gonna be a risky, a tough defense here for ReGen Blue, and we'll have to see if they can actually pull it off. They need to put a lot of more pressure onto that Dragon Knight. Leoric is gonna be back roughly just a bit before Greymane. And they aren't going to be able to push up right onto this objective here, but they are doing a pretty good job in burning down the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, 70%, 50% though. I don't know. This looks like it's going to be a game for. Oh man.
So a bit of a rough one there. ReGen Blue had a lot of advantages there, but I think just the last-minute decision-making there on whether to go top to stall or go in for the fight in the mid lane, I think where Greymane got picked off was probably where they wanted to be.
Yep, and and just to bring it up again, because we were talking about it earlier after our game, you can play a perfect game and then you lose one fight, or you make one bad decision and lose the game, and that's I think what they technically. I think they made two bad decisions there. They made the one that lost them the fort wall or the keep wall, and the fort, I guess, actually in that lane, I think, and then of course the fight that gave away the Dragon Knight. And it's too bad, because that felt like ReGen Blue's game all the way through, even though Uncomfortably Numb had more kills throughout that, and most of the time they were ahead in XP. So, and you can tell me that that I'm wrong and or biased in that, but to me it felt like they were mostly in charge for a lot of that game.
I think there's no argument in the sense that by the time we hit level 20s, they had to keep down in the bottom lane. Most of the forts were cleared off of the board. So, even losing the bot fort, even losing that keep wall, wasn't dire straits. They were definitely in a position where they could reestablish a victory.
Yep.
And like you said, unfortunately, if you don't make the right decisions in those clutch moments, that's what costs you the game. But as a reminder, everybody, Here's the Storm is a hard game. It's not an easy one.
No,
while we can sit here and criticize all the calls you want, it's a lot different thing when you're looking at it from the bird's eye view.
Absolutely, because we can see where all of them are. They can't necessarily see the one part of that I think really rings as the most crucial aspect is, even if you get the kill, even if you get it quickly, it's still Leoric. So he can quite literally stand on the point and walk off of it with his ghost wraith walk, be unstoppable, and make it out alive. He didn't, obviously, but he could. And so you're right. I mean, the call was to go to mid, deal with that fight there. But that's it's easy to see that from above. It's easy to see that from 2 minutes later, And if ReGen Blue can play that game again on whichever map we end up going to, which I should probably check with Mongoose and see what's going on, and flip the switch at the end, then they win these games.
Yeah, they had it in their hands. So if they can just clean up, either find a way to get that victory before it gets into that end game scenario where you are offering a comeback potential to the enemy team, or or making sure that you're finding those end game team fights to close out post level 20. If they can do that, then that game easily turns into a win. And so I've got a lot of hope for them in the second game here. A good enough showing here to say that these two teams there's not that big a gap.
Right. So we do have ReGen Blue's gonna take first pick, and we are going to Towers of Doom, as selected by Uncomfortably Numb.
Well, this is where ReGen Blue is very good at cheesing victories off of people not paying attention to altars on the other side of the map. Reference to last season, where ReGen Blue managed to steal a victory from logical decision in such a manner. So, given their history, they should be able to make something happen here.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Down to Observer.
Is this a ReGen Blue map?
No, this is Uncomfortably Numb.
Okay.
Fine, Ziltoid, invite you to the game. They like your pillowcase, Ziltoid.
Thanks. Yeah, the trucks are good.
Yeah.
Everybody
beautiful,
likes the fire truck.
Beautiful Holiday wants to see the pillowcase, actually.
Okay.
I don't know if it's feasible to... Yeah, there you go.
There you go. And I also have a visitor.
I noticed that.
In the form of a kitten.
And what is your kitten's name there?
Ventress.
Ventress?
Yep.
Okay.
Like Asajj Ventress from Clone Wars.
Gotcha.
Although it originally came about because she was the adventurous kitty. She was
Got
the
it.
first one of the litter to wander out and say hello. And as you can see, it has evolved into this lush mentality where she just says, "Hey, where are my pets?"
I get it. I get it. That's actually kind of what happened when I got Alice, because I did a similar thing. I went, picked up from the litter, and I was trying to figure out which one to get, and it was between her and another puppy, and I had them both in my arms, just, you know, trying to decide which one, and the other puppy started wriggling around and squirming, and I was like, well, I guess you're not the one coming home with me, and there you go. That's how Alice became mine. Oh yeah, we're ready, aren't we? Are you ready? I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
We did have a sub in. We've got Pilot of Earth coming in.
Changing out for...
I already changed the name, so I can't remember.
Damn it, okay.
I'll tell you in a second.
It might come back to me.
It'll come up in just a moment. Let's see. Spectre? THC Spectre?
There you go. So the off-laner might have changed up here.
Yes, from Leoric. So, all right, let's go ahead and hop over to the draft. So, Johanna was the first ban coming out from ReGen Blue last round. They went Johanna, Alarak, and Nubarak.
Seems to be a similar motion here in game number 2.
And we had Chen, Ana, and Samuro. So I'll be interested to see how much of those stick around. Especially since Pilot was watching the whole time. So he's probably like, all right, guys, we don't need to ban Samuro.
Yeah, we don't need to ban Samuro. Oops, sorry, ReGen Blue.
Oh, man. Right?
But Chen is going to get banned, which wasn't banned out last time, and it is definitely something that Grendel likes to play. Abbots are going to be removed.
Chen was banned last time.
Chen was banned last time.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Samuro ban.
They're still going to ban the Samuro. They don't believe us.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. Caster bias.
Yep. They figure it's a conspiracy.
I mean, I am wearing a ReGen shirt, right? So they shouldn't take anything that I say against ReGen as gospel.
Absolutely. So ETC start off again, and another Anduin Diablo. It worked out pretty well. APOC Light Bomb was just a ton. Well, this was how they opened last time, though, was Anduin Junkrat.
Yep. I'm writing down all the names here, just from the last round. Anduin. There we go. And where are we? We're Towers of Doom. So Towers of Doom is a little bit of a different map. We may see some global action out of that ETC. We could see a stage dive. We may yet see the Dahaka. Okay. I mean, okay, so I gotta ask this, right? Like, you're a caster, you get it. Like, when you're just talking about, you know, which hero you think that they're gonna take, and they lock it, like, right then, doesn't that feel good? Like, that just feels so good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it you know, it kind of comes with the territory, especially when you cast several, when you cast enough of these games and, you know, enough of the players themselves to get a bit of a feel for who's gonna typically draft what. You know, we all know that Dahaka is going to be a option on this map more so than other maps. You know, so it's not, you know, it's not out of the ballpark to make a guess like that. It doesn't always come through, but just like me saying that Malthael or Zul or something on this map is something commonly picked up just due to the dual suck capabilities or whatever the case. Irel is also an option that we might see come out from Uncomfortably Numb just due to the fact that she's good at rotations and finding that. In fact, Malthael's going to be banned out. Probably for the same reasons that I was saying, is he's very good at getting that double soak.
Just occurred to me, I do have a delay on, right? Yeah, I do. That would have been awkward. Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, you mentioned about casting a lot of these games. I mean, we don't cast a lot of games, right? I mean, not that many at all.
I don't know. You're at like 40. I'm like 30.
This is 44 for me.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Say we cast quite a bit.
A little bit, yeah. We do have a few... Oh, cool. I don't even have to change the Diablo. Love it. We do have quite a list of casters who have just stepped up this season as compared to last season. Really just going nuts on those casts.
Yeah, absolutely. Bahamut's been very involved. DB Smile has been getting a lot in. But back to the draft. Diablo Sonya, so we are going to see the combo there with the Anduin Light Bomb into APOC, which was very strong. Sonya is going to be the pickup for the off lane as opposed to another double soaker, but there definitely does have some advantages with the fact that Sonya is very good at camps. Post 10 with Wrath of the Berserker, she can really pressure Tahaka in lane. So not a bad pickup there.
So, and on the other side, we do see Jason going back to the support, going to that Rhaegar.
No, I guarantee you that's going to be swapped.
You think so? Okay.
Oh yeah. So Grendel will stay on the gray main, and I'm pretty sure Jason and Theming are going to, or Jason and Osteal swap here, just at the end there, just to throw everybody off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always fun when your player pop-ups are the wrong names.
Oh, it didn't happen. That's amazing. Maybe they forgot.
Oh, that'll be awkward. Get into the game. Guys, wait a minute.
We are on the wrong hero. Interesting, because it generally is, all the mage trifecta, Kael'thas, Li Ming, Jaina is kind of what Jason's been known for quite a long time here, and him giving up the mantle to typically a support main in Osteal is quite interesting for me.
Well, we'll have to see where they go with this, but we've got the teams ready to go. What a quick spawn into the game, too.
Yep, seems like no one's lagging out tonight.
Knock on wood. All right, after you, my friend. Oh, shit.
On the blue side, looking to get a 2-0 nomination here. This matchup, we have Uncomfortably Numb. Pilot of...
It was nice of them to pause. I hadn't realized. Oh, that's... You called it! You called it!
Totally called it. Oh man. Yeah, Uncomfortably Numb's going to do the honorable thing and remake the game. Very good on them to do that for them. I do appreciate it. I said there's no way that this is how it works. Rhaegar's an Osteal special, and Jason is a mage player through and through, so it just seems a bit
that's
odd.
funny. That is funny. I hadn't realized that knocking on my desk would convince my dog that somebody was at the door, which of course has caused chaos in the background.
Yeah. Knocking on wood apparently sets off the dog.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys may have seen in the chat, they had a little bit of a kerfuffle there. So the Jason Rhaegar was supposed to be swapped with Osteal. Thank you for the sub, Shui. Much appreciated. Make sure you check out your arrow doggies for your... I don't know what the emojis. I should not knock in my home
Okay,
nester.
so like making emotes has been an interesting experience for me. I was trying to make one last night, and I got all the way through doing it in MS Paint, and then found out that they're like, you can't do transparent background, so you got to redo it in this weird friggin' format called GIMP.
Yep.
And I still haven't figured out how to get that running. So my own people that are subbing for my channel and waiting with bated breath for the emote have been attempting to get it done.
Nice. You know, I actually, it
Will
took me a little
arrive
bit.
one day.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to figure out how to make GIMP work. And honestly, I'm not great with it, but I've definitely been getting there. Good enough to get the dogs in there. So, can we pick Cho? All right, so I mean, the only thing about this of not going through the actual draft, like, yeah, they picked the heroes, but now it's gonna throw off stats of the storm. But that's okay. I mean, they'll just have to watch the actual cast, right? Come back, check us out, join us. Hey, thanks, Murda. Much appreciated. Got subs lighting up all over the place tonight.
They're all saving it for you. The heck's up with this? I'm
Well, you know what?
That's okay, guys. Arrow's a good guy.
Next
Totally worth
season,
it.
you just got to be a part of ReGen.
Apparently, yes.
Hashtag ReGen Overlords. All right, are they on the right people? Osteel's on Rhaegar. Jason's on Li Ming. Oh, I better change that on the overlay. Let's see. Li Ming and Rhaegar. There we go. All right. Well, you know what? Now that we've got the game going, why don't you go ahead and introduce our team?
Alrighty, on the blue side, we have Uncomfortably Numb, famous playing the Diablo, Mr. Monkey Man on the Hanzo, Pilot of Earth playing Sonya, kicking ass on the Junkrat, and Patches on the Enderman.
All right, and for ReGen Blue, we've got August Sun over here on Dahaka, Grendel going to be playing Greymane again, Osteel on Rhaegar, Jason on the Li Ming, and ETC going to be played by Mongoose. Gotta kill Fred. Who's Fred?
I think that's Pilot of Earth.
Oh. Well, there you go. It is. Inside comments, I guess. Didn't know these things. Let's see. Which talent is that one? Enhanced agility out of Dahaka. So that instead of the tankiness, going for that faster movement speed. Is that something you see often? I don't see that very often.
It definitely fell out of favor after a bit of a nerf, and therefore the tissue regeneration kind of became the big thing. And I think still most offlaners tend to prefer it. But in this particular instance, where Dahaka, it may not be feeling super comfortable in his or super confident into his like 1v1 matchup with Sonya, could be instead looking for the tissue regeneration for the double soaking capability, because with that extra speed, he should be able to swap between lanes very fast, and might be able to get a macro experience in that sense.
Well, I just want to call out Red Aria, the other leader for ReGen Phoenix, throwing out a whole bunch of gifted subs. So welcome to your gift subs for B-Train, Beautiful Holiday, Darabo, Dead Latin, and Slexia. Enjoy your Alice and Al emotes.
Loving the love in NGS. Fantastic. And as you can see, the exchanges are kind of going that way. And again, it gets a little bit worse. Like Dahaka, you can go definitely certain builds that as you get into the late game, that exchange, it gets a little bit better. But, you know, by that time, you're probably going to fall behind. So I think going for the macro play instead is still the right call here. We might see aggression, but it's a little bit too late. The call doesn't come out fast enough. And so we're just going to see Greymane and Junkrat do kind of what they did last game, and kind of match each other in the other lanes while each team tries to push in their camps.
Yeah, and Rhaegar got a little close there. Mongoose was able to power slide in, didn't even need to use the face melt. So they did it again. All right, well, we do have the root going out onto Mongoose here. We've got a group of sappers coming into the bot lane, and Li Ming's not the greatest for killing those sappers, just because there's so much in the way at this point. They do get through, get the first tower in the bot lane, and level 4 is available for both teams now. And it looks like they're probably going to get the second tower as well, as Greymane in the top lane, covering for the Dahaka soak that was missed, and Rhaegar in the mid lane, trying to keep them in the game as far as the XP. And it looks like they're pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, bottom lane control is a big thing. Getting those towers down nice and early is a good start to the matchup. We're going to see an exchange here on each side. We do see August Sun and Jason looking to see if they can pick off, but unfortunately the burst damage did not land onto Pilot Earth, and given the fact that those almost killed him just there, is a little bit unfortunate, because they almost had that pick off there.
And now we've got everybody, all 10 health bars in the same area here, but August Sun getting melted. But it's going to be Sonya going down first from that big burst. Li Ming out of mana, though.
Yeah, she kind of felt desperate and needed to get back in there to help out. And they do secure the kill on Dahaka, which is great. But yeah, Li Ming not having any mana makes it quite difficult to really do anything left in that area. It's just an unfortunate turn of events there for ReGen Blue.
Yeah, a little bit better on their targeting on Sonya, and they get all 8 points. But you know what? This is early in the game. As long as they have 1 point on their core, they can win the game. Either team can. But Rhaegar gets charged, flipped, and now he's gonna go ahead and pop that Ghost Wolf and run away. So they have some pretty decent disengage if does ReGen Blue.
Yeah, and he pathed pretty cleverly there just to make sure that he could get there. We just see a bit of an evade coming up from the Diablo and Hanzo. Mongoose getting slammed against the wall, but positionally are not in a too bad of a spot if he gets a power slide there onto Mr. Monkey Man. Jason's stepping up to see if he can get the kill, and it was just enough to be able to get this camp out. Grendel doing a good job clearing that out. We are going to see a camp exchange in the top lane, though. Sonya being able to clear that up as Dahaka doesn't really want to step up into that. We'll see if he does to kind of clear this up, but I think these might be going into walls as he's got to stand there and eat Sonya damage. That's never a fun thing to do.
Yeah, no doubt. On top of the sappers as well, trying to dodge those. I don't know what they're throwing. Pumpkin goop.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
what are they throwing? Pumpkin heads. Okay.
Yeah, they just throw pumpkin heads.
So the invade coming out from ReGen Blue, you see the ping there, Hanzo jumping over the wall, but it's going to be Li Ming in danger here as Diablo coming up from behind, and she's trying to dodge Sonya.
Yeah, that little health, just one auto attack from Hanzo was enough to be able to secure the kills. So a bit of an unfortunate turn of events there for Jason. He should be back up in time to at least stall out the capture on their side of the map. Hopefully they can kind of reduce any aggression through these. There's only 2 areas they can aggress through. As long as they kind of stand in those areas and keep it from going through, they can get this channel through. And that's exactly what happens.
And that keeps
gonna
the
have
fight
to burn
here.
essence and raid into a bush, which is good. He's going to be able to get out of there.
So
Things still relatively easy, even at the moment.
yeah, so both teams able to pick up 1 altar there. So 32 to 28. Kiknaz able to get away from Grendel there. And they're making this full rotation into the bot lane, getting the soak, and then, yeah, it looks like they're going to try to come up back here and take this camp as Anduin's not quite there. But with the rotation of 3, Blue's going to go ahead and back out.
And this is one of those kind of question marks with the Dahaka pick. Quite often what you want him for is those aggressive digs so that you can establish good camp control into the bottom lane. But we haven't really seen any of them come out from him. And I think maybe the decision is the fact that they figured that if they pull attention from Sonya, they'd be able to get the camps they needed. And there goes APOC trying to land it onto Ostale, but he manages to peel himself away. So that's going to be 2 ults down that don't really get any major value. Famous is still going to step up to see if they can get another pick, but nothing is going to happen of it. So that's a good window here. In fact, I would almost like to see Dahaka finally make that dig in on this and perhaps get these guys that are, I would say, a bit overextended here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and Greymane made the rotation down as well, so they're ready. And Sonya's on the other half of the map. That's the entire value of having this Dahaka, is to get those suddenly Dahaka bush moments. And this could be, I mean, this could be the moment right here as well. Although Sonya's already down. There's a light bomb coming in. Ostale getting stunned along with Greymane. Contested. Here comes the Riptire. ETC going to be the first kill. Ostale the second. And we did see the reset there as Diablo got killed. But Greymane getting chased down. 90 health does go down to the Hanzo. So a 4-for-1 trade. Yeah, Diablo went down. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 4-for-1 trade. Obviously, Diablo comes back in with a full reset on souls, which is good. But, and a full reset is good for ReGen Blue. But unfortunately, a 4-for-1 means that this bottom fort is going to go in their direction. And that's going to make things a little bit tougher here for Jason and the boys. But we'll see if they can turn things around here into the mid-game.
So once again, splitting off Dahaka to the top lane there, and we do see Greymane heading down, going to try to clear out this minion wave so that he can get right back onto getting resecuring this bottom fort. But it looks like Uncomfortably Numb not looking to allow that to happen. 2 big ults used there, both of them whiffing, the APOC and the Dragon's Arrow.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen that, where they haven't really been able to find picks they need with it, and I'd really like to see ReGen Blue try to take advantage of that. And again, a good dig from Dahaka in this situation could actually turn the tables with those ultimates down. They may be down to Palantir, but they need to make something happen. It's just sitting here eating poke damage, just not looking to be working out for them, and that's going to be a kill onto Mongoose.
Yeah, and it's going to be another kill onto the gray main. Jason could be in danger here as well, as they even step in across the line of death there to try to get some extra damage up, but aren't quite able to make it. So we're going to see the mid altar here coming up here shortly, and that's going to give them the opportunity as well to get this camp. So as much as 8 points could be coming off of the ReGen Blue side if they're not careful here.
Yeah, if they can get those sappers through in the bottom lane, that definitely could be the case. 13s, they're desperately trying to get. We're not seeing a lot of the double soaking coming out of Dahaka, as he hasn't really been able to stack up those energy. We do get most of this fort pushed down, but there goes the flank from Sonya. Now it's 5 people into the bottom lane, trying to leverage that talent tier advantage that they do have to perhaps get these 3 shots into the core.
Not only that, but they have another camp coming up here, so there's another opportunity for points in just a few moments.
Yeah, this is where Junkrat Hanzo can be quite difficult to deal with, as they got so much long-range poke and good wave clear that it makes it difficult to get these defenses in. Nice stun onto Jason in the back. He's trying to have to dodge all of this Junkrat damage.
Wow.
But they do prevent most of those sappers from going in. Only one managed to actually squeak in over the line. So I think a reasonable defense. We do have 13s finally up, and I think this is the moment where you really maybe want to start bringing in that Dahaka to see if you can get something happen.
Yeah, and actually there was almost a second one there. Oh, but there's the Dragon's Arrow along with the APOC. This is going to see a kill onto Rhaegar, and ETC following shortly thereafter. That's 3 points going right into the core.
Yeah, that Ancestral was only like the tiniest bit late, but finally we see that APOC arrow combo finally work out. Timed pretty much perfectly there. Gets a good 3-man stun off the Dragon Arrow into APOC, and that generally is going to find kills.
Yeah, and we've got triple altar phase coming up here, and it should be noted that, well, okay, they got it. As long as they had that, oh, and Grendel's going closer to the wall there, just barely able to not get stunned there, and that stun probably would have been the death of the Worgen.
16's now picked up by Uncomfortably Numb. I think they're going to be feeling a bit desperate here. Nice play, though, looking to zone out the Sonya. In fact, they might be able to actually get a pick here. That's exactly what they needed to do, and that is a good steal. That's exactly what we want to see from ReGen Blue. So sort of like last game, where they've been losing a lot when it comes down to like the mid-game, the pickoffs, the team fights, and where Uncomfortably Numb has managed to get an advantage. But they do find a way to get those 2 altars, and that's going to help turn things around at least a little bit here.
So they go ahead and come down here, get this bottom fort down to about half. Are they keeps yet? Yeah, I think they are. We've got the bottom camps coming available. The left one's up already, the right one up in 30 seconds. They still have the advantage with Sonya dead. Dahaka's getting the soak up top. Again, I mean, you've said it how many times? At some point, this Dahaka has to come in and actually, like, participate in the fights. Not just when the altars are going, but, you know, they've got to get some kind of value in the in-between phases.
Yep. I mean, I do get it. In this particular situation, you're just about 3/4 of a level into 16. So you might be able to give up at least a little bit of pressure here to try to snag that. But if Sonya is going to continue to make these faster rotations down to the bottom lane, it's just going to be another converted fort, and you're still going to be kind of sitting in a negative position. There is the Dragon Arrow into APOC again, very successfully done. I mean, when you add a light bomb on top of that, I mean, that is just an obscene amount of CC coming out.
And with this now going over, that's 10 points. A dirty combo from Osteel. That's 10 points right there, and the sappers here could end the game. Like, I don't even know why they're going to come up here and try to get this before the point. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, if they get 6, then it's a known issue. Even if they do stop the even if they do stop the sappers from pushing up into the bottom lane.
And the sappers right there at the edge, so Li Ming is going to be able to stall them out, but again, There goes the first altar. Here goes the second altar. And that's going to be game number 2, going over to Uncomfortably Numb.
Yep, GG.
And I will put up the appropriate score on this one. So that game definitely felt like it was a little bit more in favor of Uncomfortably Numb throughout the entirety of that one. It was, ReGen Blue was constantly just a little bit behind, and I don't know if they had more aggression out of the Dahaka, which I felt like that was the point of getting that level 1 talent too. If they could have made that, but they were always just a little bit behind in XP, and Dahaka trying to do that. But when Sonya's making the rotation from top to bottom every time, I don't know.
Yeah, the Sonya rotations were definitely an advantage, and and that's a big thing that we saw there. The digs weren't used aggressively, and then on top of that, while we saw it whip a couple times, and those were the areas where ReGen Blue could have made something else happen. When those combos landed, however, that was just a not fun situation to be in. 3-man Dragon Arrows into a 5-man Apox into 3-man Light Bombs is just, I don't want to be in that.
Tough to deal with.
You can't even press buttons.
For sure. Let's go ahead and hop over to Lobby 5 in NGS, see if we can get Famous or somebody in to chat with us.
Certainly.
All right, so we are not going to get Famous. So Famous has to run, so we're going to get somebody else. Who do you think it's going to be? Can you hear me, Ziltoid?
Sorry, what was that?
So we're not going to get Famous. We're going to get somebody else. Who do you think it's going to be from this team?
I'm expecting Fred.
Which is Paladverth?
I think so, yeah.
All right, well, we'll see if that's if your prediction comes true. So 14-3 on the kills. I've got the talents, posted up here for everybody. I think somebody was asking if Anduin had died. He did not die. There were only 3 kills, so 2 on Sonya, 1 on Diablo. We're getting more than Fred.
Wow, doxing me right away.
Hey,
So, yeah,
I didn't throw your name up on stream. Somebody else did.
it's done now. It's done now.
Yes, I'm joined by Mr. Monkey Man. I won't say his name.
Well, it also sounds like we've got the entire group of people at Cheers in the background as well.
And they're joining us too, actually.
That's pretty awesome. So, congratulations on your 2-0 victory there.
Thank you.
And hey, Mr. Monkey Man, are you there? I want to hear your voice.
Hello, how's it going?
There we go. I just like to make sure. So what? How are you guys feeling after this win? What kind of things did you do to prepare against the ReGen Blue team?
Feeling pretty good. Our captain scouted out some of the matches that they were playing, seeing what characters they played. That's why we're banning out Chen and Samuro. Not normal bans, especially the Samuro, so that was pretty good targeting.
For sure. Yep.
We pretty much played our staple stuff, normal stuff, nothing different.
And so when you guys are in Dragonshire, and please feel free to tell me if this didn't feel like the same for you. From our perspective, or at least from mine, it felt like ReGen Blue in game 1 was slightly ahead for about 80% of the time. You guys weren't out of it, and you guys actually had more kills, but it felt like the overall aggression that they had and the macro and the timing and getting all of the Dragon Knights up until the end felt like they were ahead. So how do you guys stay in the game, keep your head in the game? Like, what kind of adjustments are you making throughout that fight to ultimately win that game?
So we didn't seem like we were that far behind the whole game. Like, we were winning 3 dragon fights, like, before the important stuff happened. And then, like, once the dragon showed up, we kind of, like, messed up a bit. But we felt like we were doing pretty good throughout most of the game. So we were just keeping it calm, no pressure. do that a lot. We like start to lose that a bit, but then like once it gets really serious, we put our minds together and focus on the objective and pull through.
Sure, and that kill onto the Greymane who was nearby, probably the only person that was relatively close enough to stall out the Dragon Knight, really helped to secure that victory because it gave you guys the opportunity to push in that keep and then win the game.
Yeah, that was a really good pick with like the Diablo got the stun right away. It was once we seen he was out of place, we like alled in him right away just to make sure we had the team advantage.
For sure, for sure. And then, of course, you know, Mr. Monkey Man, you played Hanzo in the last game, and I believe Raynor in the first game. Is that correct?
Yep.
So, you know, there's a lot of jokes about Raynor being kind of the easy hero of not NGS, of Heroes of the Storm. You know, just right click and go AFK. But of course, you know, there's more nuance to it than that. So, you know, with this team that you were going up against with the ETC, you know, the Greymane, Kael'thas, Stukov, you know, what kind of things were you looking at?
After with this team, so I guess just with Raynor in general, he is pretty simple, just like the auto attack thing. But I find a really important part of him is with his penetrating shot. It interrupts a lot of important things. So like the Mosh, for example, or Greymane diving onto me, I'm able to like push them away if I time it perfectly. That's one important thing. The other one is his pepper stack. I like to like hold the pepper. So I'll get like the pepper instantly.
Right. Good deal. Ziltoid, anything you want to ask about game number 1?
I mean, not really. I think you know, the top lane must have been feeling a bit freaky in the sense that Twin Blades variant is almost always going to win out a 1v1 with Leoric in those types of situations. Were you guys concerned about any of that? I didn't see a lot of rotations coming out from you to deal with it. More looked like you were just focusing down the 4-man fights as best you could. Is that kind of the strategy, or were you concerned at all about the top lane?
Yeah, for the top lane, like once he got Twin Blades, it wasn't really an issue of like trying to win the lane. Leoric is more of a team fighting thing anyway within Tomb. It's a big part of him, so like staying soaked, survive as long as you can, and then come in for the advantage on the team fights. Because I'm pretty like I feel like in Tomb's more important than just the like pressure of Varian.
Oh, for sure. Also, I noticed on that Leoric, no silence in Tomb. Any idea?
Yeah, we have no idea. He had, he like left right after the game. He had to go sleep or I don't know. We never really got.
So you don't have any clue. You're just like, okay.
No
problem.
We had a moment.
I don't know.
We had a moment there where I saw him select the talent, and I saw this green swirl going up and around him, and I'm like, what is that? I don't know that I've ever seen that. And Ziltoid and I are talking for a moment about it, because it's just not something you see very often. You know, buried alive being the most common.
It probably has 100% win rate in NGS.
You know what? You're probably right. Good call. Good call.
There you go. That is the big brain strats.
Yep. So you guys,
we also,
go ahead.
sorry,
Go ahead.
We also saw a lot of the light bomb APOC combo, which roughly turns into about 3 seconds of stun. And then in game 2, we saw that plus Dragon Arrow, which at long range turns into 5 seconds of stun. I just wonder, have you guys ever been abused that way? Because that is just an absolute terrible 5 seconds that you can't press buttons for.
Yeah, we like to do the wombo combo a lot. Really good. I don't think we've had it played against us. I think we played against Anduin once, and he went the other one. He didn't go light bomb, so we've never had like us deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. Ziltoid's over here taking notes, so that the next time that they play you, you can keep an eye out for
many
it.
more supports.
And so you guys picked both of the maps, Towers of Doom being the second one, and you know, with the first game being, you know, mostly in Blue's favor, and then you guys pulling it back, the second game was very much the opposite. You guys were ahead throughout that game. really throughout the whole game, really. You had a couple of unfortunate misfires at the ultimates there just after 10, but then you clicked and you had the APOC and the Dragon's Arrow, or the Light Bomb and the APOC, or whatever your combo was, and basically just kept them in the graveyard there for that second game. How much of that do you expect when you're setting up this team going into Towers of Doom, so that you can then get things like the bottom keep and the mid keep at the end of the game there? How much of that is pre-planned, or how much of that is, just kind of hoping that it works out?
Well, after the first game, the APOC and Light Bomb combo worked out really well, so that was a pretty good thing to keep for us. And then Hanzo's just a really good character in general, plus the stun does help. And once we got 10s, we blew it right away, just because if the chance we do get them, then we have a big advantage. They're not 10s yet, so we could push really well. So it's just on cooldown, just waiting for a good pick to get that bot tower, which is really important in Doom.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys played it well. Ultimately, I think they had 20. You guys had 24 on your core, if I remember right, at the end there. So, very much in your favor throughout that game. Really solid play. I don't have a whole lot of questions, because you guys just really played that quite well. Ziltoid, anything else for Towers of Doom?
Nothing really, other than the Tahaka pick generally puts a lot of pressure onto those invades. There wasn't really enough digs, but I saw that Sonya was playing trying to play the mid lane and making sure that you had rotation advantage there. Were you surprised at the lack of pressure out of those rotations?
I guess we barely saw any digs. The top lane in our whole game plan is just to secure the bottom and just make sure it's ours the entire game, and then up mid and capture that keep as well. But I don't know why they kept pushing in the top when we would have the 5 on their 4-man. Helped in the long run.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, good deal. Let's go ahead and wrap up for the evening. And if you've got any shout outs, the floor is yours.
Well, that cheers in the background is Click Esports. It's a PC gaming lounge we play out of in Ottawa on Merivale. So if anyone's ever around, they're pretty good. They do things right.
Nice.
You guys, thank you very much for the cast. Arrow, you're doing so many this season. You're a wonderful man.
Thanks.
Ziltoid, I think it's the first time we've had you casting, but we played against you last season, right? You were or the season before. What team were you on?
I was on Planet Smashers before last season, where I was playing with Logical Decision, and we've got a game coming up on Sunday.
Were you ever Div B or Div C?
Who's Div B now?
Yeah, I was Div B the last 2 seasons, and I was Div D the season before that.
Ooh, big jump.
Yep.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, and I'd like to shout out the team and Thomas. He does pretty much everything for the team, and he's a wonderful human. Famous, did I say his name?
You did. Yeah, the mic's been a little bit in and out, but yeah, you got the name in there.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Monkey, anything from you? Okay.
No, just shout out to the team. They did a great job. Glad to play with them.
Good deal. Well, you guys played well. You got the 2-0 victory. Congratulations on your points, and good luck for the rest of the season. And yeah, so like Ziltoid said, it sounds like you guys are playing on Sunday. So he's had a nice, comfortable scouting session. So make sure you guys do a little bit of research onto the Logical Decision as well.
We'll make sure Famous does that.
There you go. All right, guys, have a great night. Thanks for joining us. All right, Ziltoid, that's going to wrap us up for the ening. 2-0 Uncomfortably Numb over ReGen Blue. Anything you want to share with our friends out in Twitchland?
No, just you can follow me on Twitch and of course Twitter and YouTube under LD Ziltoid, as I will be casting all season. I will be doing a late Thursday night stream and hopefully an earlier one tomorrow. So catch us on the channel there. Thursday is a little later as it is my birthday. So I'm excited about that. And cool. And shout out to, I guess, Uncomfortably Numb. What is a squad of 5 people that are all that do it like internet cafe in Ottawa. So shout out, esports in Canada.
Yeah, right on, man. That's pretty awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out Ziltoid's channel. Ziltoid, one of the other kind of top most casts in the NGS season so far. Always a pleasure to have you as a co-caster. I'll be back on Thursday. I've got 2 matches. I don't remember the earlier one because I just picked it up, but I do have a Div D match at 10:30, I think, with the baddest dudes and whoever they're playing. I don't remember. I just remember because they got their games scheduled first. So make sure you stop by on Thursday. Check out LD Ziltoid on Twitch. And let's show off this NGS Patreon as we head on out and get to sleep because I'm tired. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.